Great. Stream's off to a great start. We've already broken the game. How's it going, everybody? TrinfiniteX here with some Metroid Prime 3.
Stasis shutdown complete. Vital signs stable. Activating various suit. Suit diagnostic complete. All systems functional.
We get to see Zero Suit Samus right away in this one. At least for a moment. But anyway, welcome to the episode of Star Wars you won't see in movie theaters. Star Wars Episode Prime.
Incoming transmission.
Unidentified vessel, please switch to a secure radio frequency and transmit your identity code. We're standing by.
Hello, my name is Samus Solo. I'm here registering my brand new Millennium gunship here. Let's see.
Transmission verified. Greetings, Samus. We welcome you on behalf of the Galactic Federation. Proceed to the command ship Olympus. You've been cleared for docking bay 5. Welcome back, Samus.
Must be, I mean, it must be a brand new ship, right? Because that's the only reason I can think of why they wouldn't already know her, know her and her ship. I'm also still getting, used to motion controls. Oh my gosh, I'm not even sure which motion control did that. Yeah, sorry for being so slow, guys. It's just that I'm stuck using non-Wii Plus motion controls. Oh, you know what I just realized? I should probably change the game. That would be helpful. Hold on. One moment. Okay. So like any Star Wars adventure,
By shooting these targets.
we start off with
Calibration complete.
target practice?
Samus, welcome to the flagship Olympus. Admiral Dane is waiting for you in the briefing room. I will upload the location to you now.
And just like any Metroid game, we start off with lots of talking? Yeah, no. Actually, this beginning here is very different from the previous two Prime games. Now, the reason for that is relatively straightforward. I mean, it's really just that they want you to get used to all the motion controls and stuff. Because the only way to play this game is with the Wiimote and Nunchuck. Boy, that guy was standing in a dangerous spot. We can talk to him.
Thanks, Samus.
You're welcome, person.
The pirate attacks must have the old man nervous. Looks like he's getting ready for a full-scale invasion.
No joke. Last time this many fighters were scrambled was during the Horus Rebellion.
That was some nasty business.
I have a feeling this will be worse.
They put a lot of
Welcome
effort.
aboard, Samus.
Yeah, they put a ton of effort into, like, just this opening beginning area. Like, you can talk to basically everybody.
I'm sorry, I'm on duty. I can't talk right now.
Good news. We know the ship has axial pulse cannons.
A pleasure to meet you, Samus.
You can shoot people. Nothing happens. Except if you shoot them enough, like, a turret will come out and kill you. Like, basically instantly.
Aren't you Samus Aran? It's an honor to meet you.
Why, thank you. Okay, so it's been a bit. Oh, whoops. Game starts out. This is a pretty decent tutorial. Because, like, they really make you use the, let's see, 13576. They really make you use everything. Kind of sets the tone for how awkward these controls are for the rest of the game.
Try not to move during the procedure. We need a stable
The procedure.
There's other bounty hunters in this.
You may proceed.
Of course.
You'll need to pull that lever toward you to enter the containment area.
Yeah. Now here comes the real challenge. Pulling the lever. Okay. Because I'm in a somewhat cramped-ish space. So pulling that back
Verification.
was pretty close.
DNA verified. Registration number 13576. Identified as bounty hunter Samus Aran. Preparing biohazard scan. Please approach the scan terminal.
And while I'm doing this, the other bounty hunter over there is going to disappear off screen.
Scan complete. No hazardous material detected. Samus, you are cleared for the command bridge.
So this is a pretty slow start. Oh my gosh, I have to do this again. It's a pretty slow start, but it picks up really quickly here in a minute. Let's talk to more random people.
I'm sorry, but this requires my full attention.
Oh, is that so?
I'm too busy to talk now.
Well. Oh. Oh, I didn't shoot him.
Please stand down.
I didn't shoot him. What is that even? Can I scan that? Ah, okay. Controls. Z to scan, right? Hello? There we go. Oh my gosh. There are achievements in this game because this is the era when Nintendo was kind of sorta
Aren't you Samus Aran? It's an honor to meet you.
messing around with like trying to copy Xbox, I guess. So they put those little achievements in there like you saw for getting scans and stuff. Not sure what they were thinking. Like, again, the other two Prime games did not need this. Nevertheless, I mean, it's not that bad, right? Uh-huh. Now it's starting to look slightly more like Star Wars. We're getting there.
Can I help you? I'm sorry, but this requires my full attention.
I know, that's why I'm here to bug you. Alright. So off to the side here we have a save station. We'll go ahead and use it. This is not going to be a 100% playthrough or anything. And I haven't played this in years, so I expect it will be interesting. This is just going to be a for fun run to kind of fill the gap between now and the Zero and ZX collection for the Switch, and then of course Ori 2, which is coming out in less than a month.
You're good to go. Admiral Dane is waiting inside.
All right. Hey, something's wrong with this picture. If you were paying attention. Hey.
Enough. Looks like everyone's here now. Before I begin the briefing, let me introduce 242, the flagship's Aurora unit.
Ah, an organic supercomputer. Fascinating. It's my understanding that the Galactic Federation's core network is comprised of such units.
That is correct, Core. And we serve as the network's master control. However, currently the network is down.
That seems inefficient.
But necessary. You see, 7 days ago, we discovered that all Aurora units were infected with an unknown virus. We were forced to bring the network down. Fortunately, our scientists were quickly able to devise a vaccine.
Lots of talking here.
Unit 242 was the first AU to receive the vaccine. We were able to completely purge the virus.
Where did this virus come from?
We believe the virus is of space pirate origin. 4 months ago, the GFS Valhalla went missing while on a training mission in the Klar Nebula. The ship's logs revealed that they were attacked by a space pirate raiding vessel.
That we can totally see, you know, in this super bright hologram.
What is the logic in disrupting a Federation training mission?
They're pirates. How could they resist a prize like that?
That never would have happened if I'd been there.
Then it's a shame you weren't. The pirates boarded the Valhalla and gained access to the ship's Aurora unit, 313. This is how they were able to hack into the network and plant the virus.
Thanks to our security protocols, we were able to shut down the network before the
still vulnerable. If the pirates decide to launch a major offensive, we'd be hard-pressed to defend ourselves. We must rid the other AUs of that virus and bring the network back online. That's where you come in. We need you to deliver the vaccine to each of the AUs in this system. We'd also like you to investigate the pirates' activity in the area. You need to know what they're up to.
Condition red. All personnel to combat-ready stations. Repeat. Condition red.
Sir, a space pirate attack fleet has just warped out of some sort of wormhole. They're also heading for Sector 0, the planet's home base.
Damn! They're targeting the planetary defense system. Get down to the planet and aid the ground troops. Stop those pirates from disabling the defense system. Go!
All right. So, Samus Solo begins her mission. We'll start by talking to this guy.
The damage reports are coming in too fast. I can't believe this is happening.
Also, 3 enemy destroyers have already been eliminated. Wow. That was quick. So, one of the big things this game is known for is loading times between doors.
Samus, get to your ship. We need you down on the planet. Until we get the fleet in formation. Get the light. Launch all fighter squadrons. I want step.
Alright. So, this game has some pretty long loading times in certain doors.
You're needed on the planet. What are you still doing here, Samus? You're needed on the planet.
Alright. So now I'm trying to figure out... Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and save real quick so we don't have to watch that long cutscene again. But now we finally get to do some light fighting. We'll see the other bounty hunters on the way. There's some space pirate ships. And it honestly looks to me like there's a lot of them shooting. Yeah, there's a lot of them space pirates shooting, but not a lot of the GSF retaliating. Turrets proved to be ineffective. We'll just take this door over here. Z to lock onto objects. Now, I mean, again, this opening section's pretty cool. In a sense, because, like, we could have saved that GF trooper right there had we been a little faster. But unfortunately, I wasn't quick enough. Now we can save this guy, too. Here we go.
I'm fine. Don't worry about me. Get down to your ship.
Like all good Metroid games and Star Wars movies, ooh. We're starting out with a pretty fast-paced beginning, full of lots of action.
Samus, the blast doors are down, so it looks like you have to find another way back to your ship.
Lots of fun and cool stuff. I mean, like, Prime 1 was like this. Prime 2 was also kind of like this, sorta. Let's see. I guess I'm not going this way. Oh yeah, that's right. We have to do this. Open air, the first area is pretty fun, but then things tend to slow down a tiny bit. That's the general pattern for this sort of thing. Now we have to play a little game of catch with these guys. Whoa, where'd that pirate just go? There was somebody to the, yeah, there was one to the side, and I couldn't quite get him there in time. There's not really any need to worry about, like, them getting away with it. They can't. Like, they're stuck in this room. Come on. Looking around and locking on is a little awkward in this game. Because, again, this is all Wiimote stuff. There's no other way to control this. None. You cannot use the GameCube controller. Enemies can break your locks. There we go. Also, the hitbox detection is a little weird, apparently. Now, I mean, the ability to free aim like this is definitely nice in certain situations, but in other situations it can be a little weird. So it's kind of up and down as to whether or not they used the controls correctly. I'll be honest with you, this is probably one of the best examples of the motion controls in this game, like on the Wii, or in general, like, honestly. It's a lot like Prime 2 in the way that you can scan things. It's not like Prime 1's weird boxes floating in the air. There we go. Let's just survive for a second. Can kill them through the floor. So we're gonna escape through the vent, through the ventilation shaft. We get to see Rundus, like the coolest of the bounty hunters, and that wasn't really intended to be a pun, but it kind of was. You'll see later why Rundus is honestly the best one. They're all okay, but he's the best. And we are escaping basically the same way. Like, we're escaping into the trash compactor here, effectively. Ah, that's right. Scan visor. Ugh. It's so weird not having the typical controls from the GameCube era. It's just a little more awkward. However, we're not quite getting out of the trash compactor the same way they did. We're not going to have C-3PO and R2-D2 to help us. Instead, we're going to have to fly back to our ship. And boy, aren't we lucky there was a hatch right here. But who we kidding? This is just another day at the office for Samus. And there's Kerrigan up there. And Space Pirates. Oh, hi guys. So even though I'm locked on to something, I can still free aim. So, again, kind of weird. It's like giving me lock on, but then letting me free aim. Takes some getting used to, but it's a perfectly fine control scheme. Once you get used to it, that is. Music's a little bland, but it does get better. It does get much better later. So here we have our first missile upgrade. Like, the game is giving us upgrades in the opening area. So this is already very different from Prime 1 and 2. We don't lose our powers, we get more. Like, they decided to go with the common sense route in this game. Like, we don't have all our powers from the previous game, but we don't lose what we have. Which I think is really nice. Wait a minute. Was there something over here I was supposed to scan? No, actually, I don't think so. What am I? Oh, that's right. They need to make you use your missiles. Also, we killed that enemy and got a missile drop from him without even intending to. So, as a consequence of the free aim thing, while locking on, when I lock onto something, like, it snaps my view to that, but it doesn't snap my reticle to that. So, like, if I were to lock onto something over here, like, my reticle would be here while I'm locking onto that other thing. So it's a little awkward. Reasonably cool opening section so far, but naturally it wouldn't be complete without a big boy. Well, that guy got wrecked. So, remember all those biogenetic experiments the pirates were doing, like with Phazon and stuff? In, like, the first Prime game? Now, I do like how right there they just explained dashing to the side dashing and stuff. Because they didn't really explain that very well. In, like, Prime 1, at least from what I remember, because I didn't figure out side dashing in the first game until way into it. But in this game, they make sure to tell you every single control in excruciating detail, even if you know what you're doing already. Ah, oh. That's right, he has that attack. He is sort of related to Ganondorf, I guess. It's like Space Pirate Ganondorf, where you play with the energy balls. He's almost dead. There we go. There we go. If anybody's worried that I didn't scan him, don't be. We'll be seeing him again. Those force fields have a lot of juice in them. Apparently. I'm pretty sure that was a space pirate fighter that just slammed into him. Well, good riddance. All in all, pretty good tutorial area. But it's not technically over yet. The third game here has way more story than, I mean, in case it wasn't immediately obvious, Prime 3 has way more story than Prime 1 and 2. And a good chunk of that story is in the opening section and towards the end. So presumably Samus's new gunship is protected from lightning strikes, more so than her last one. Which is how she got stranded on Aether in Prime 2. Now there's some Star Wars right there. Nintendo did kind of put their best foot forward in this, or rather Retro Studios did.
Stand to, Samus. Our situation doesn't look good. The pirate attack has knocked out our generators and disabled the planetary defense system. This cannon was our only weapon capable of taking out orbiting ships. We need you and the other hunters to get the generators back online and restore power to the cannon so we can repulse this assault. I'm uploading the generator coordinates to you now. Good hunting.
So here we are on Norian. We have to get the Hammer of Dawn back online here. I guess this is actually pretty similar to Halo in some ways. Again, this is sort of, kind of Nintendo making a or attempting to make a kind of a rip-off of Halo a little bit, while improving on it a bit, like, because they have the achievements. You'll see in it, like, you'll see in a minute, like, we really are using the Hammer of Dawn. Like, no joke. It's just a kind of a, it's just a ground-based, it's just a ground-based cannon from Halo. Like, it really is. Controls are a little clumsy compared to the elegance of the GameCube version. It's still a good game. Like, again, it just takes some getting used to the controls, but once you get used to them, they do sort of work nicer. Whoops. Well, maybe I should have jumped there. Didn't see that there wasn't a floor there. Much like Prime 2, if you fall off, you're just penalized with a little bit of damage for falling. Still, it seems like a very unsafe room. Cast nunchuck, forward to fire grab. There we go. It's like I did do that game. Now, I'm gonna try something here because I'm pretty sure we can just walk past these, can't we? Yep, we can just walk right past these. You could play the little mini game that those drones want you to play, which basically amounts to just, you know, shooting them in turn, or you can just walk right past them. So it looks like there's a lot of places we can't go right now, but that'll change slightly. Ah, yes, that's right. Okay, so that looks easy to get. That sounds good, Avalon. Pretty sure I can't get this from this side, can I? I can. Oh, gosh. So this is the second free E-Tank they've handed me. Here, I thought... Here, I thought you couldn't just grab it. I thought I had to do a little puzzle for it. But no, it was totally free. Doesn't look like there was any way to save those guys, unfortunately. There's lots of other guys around. Like, these troopers... These troopers actually fight with us, I mean, for what little value they have. Man, sure it's a good thing all these explosions aren't damaging to Samus's armor at all. Nod to Prime 1. That's right, how do I missile? Oh, that's right. Okay. That's, again, these controls on the Wiimote are tough to remember sometimes. Okay. So here's some more fighting. I'm gonna do some more scanning here. Ah. Ship got away. But isn't it good that you're putting on muscle mass in exchange for fat, though? Like, that's generally the goal of exercise. Also, yes. Like, this is where the excitement starts to pick up, finally. These guys can dodge your lock-ons if you lock onto them. Fortunately, their accuracy is on par with stormtroopers. And the big ship's back. We're gonna scan that. Well, I mean, okay, but at least you are aware that you are making progress. The missiles have a weird delay on them. And they won't hit the weak point that I want them to. Arrgh. This troop transport is actually sort of tough, but they're doing this on purpose, naturally, to set up a fight for later. More enemies try to come and ambush Samus. A lot more enemies come. Rundus comes to save us.
These pirates are more fragile than they appear.
Or should I say Frozone?
I just received word that the Federation is allowing all bounty hunters to use ship command devices. You should now be able to remotely command your ship and land it here. Don't forget to perform suit maintenance and data backup if you need. Generator A is just through those doors. While you head that way, I'll activate the generator on the west side. Between the two of us, this should be a breeze.
No problem. See you later, Frozone. Like, come on, the way he's like skating on the ice. So in this game, we actually utilize our ship a lot more. Samus Solo's Millennium Gunship actually is very handy. And unlike Han Solo's ship, it is definitely not a piece of junk. Definitely. Our ship is actually super cool. Minus all the talking at the beginning, I'd say this has actually been pretty fun. Now, to be fair, the talking at the beginning is kind of necessary to set up the plot and such. Like, it wasn't bad, it just wasn't what I came to Metroid Prime for. Again, this game has much more story than the previous two entries in the series, which is both a good thing and a bad thing at times. And definitely, depending on your point of view, a lot. Like, the first time through, the story's great, but second time through, or past that, it's like, you know, kind of wish cutscene skipping was a thing. But there's not really any way to do that. Oh. Be quick! My gosh. Okay. Okay. So here the Galactic Federation decided, let's make a door that has you shoot little combination symbols and then... Uh-oh. And then you have to rip off the door with a grapple lasso. Because that's smart design, right? Okay. So here we have our first little puzzle. We get introduced to puzzling in the game. Like, I agree with your previous comment, Avalon. Like, this is fun gameplay. It's just a little awkward with the controls. Sometimes, like, that door is a great example. Of the controls just being a little bit weird. Yeah, no, it's still better than Other M for sure. Like, 100%. The one and only thing I will give Other M praise for is the grappling stuff. Because that honestly makes sense and is kind of cool. But other than that... we don't talk about Other M. All right. Now we're puzzling good. That fight was kind of sort of a nod to the barbed war wasps. Or was they? Were they barbed war wasps? What kind of war wasps were they in the first game that zipped around you like that?
Samus, are you reading me? Something big is happening up here. What in the name of...
Cutscene time. You know, I started out comparing this to Star Wars, but now I'm beginning to wonder if it doesn't compare better with Halo. Like, I forgot how much Nintendo was...
Samus, it's heading right at you. That's why the pirates disabled the defense system. They intend to smash this thing into Norion. Get that cannon back online, or everyone down there is as good as dead.
And... time limit. Or at least, pretty soon. I know there's a timer at some point. Oh no, that's right, I remember when it is. I remember when the timer comes into play. We actually have infinite time right now. But anyway, yeah, this is sort of, like I said, this is Nintendo trying to make a Halo game. Or, because, like, it is very similar. Ooh, what's this, though? Wow, that GF Trooper's pretty powered up.
Samus, I'm with the PED Delta Squad. My face-on enhanced weaponry should be able to hold off any more trouble. I'll guard this area while you head on to the next generator. What the heck is that?
Oh, hi. That's right. So, Ridley's back. Gotta take out Darth Ridley here. And on the way, we'll be encountering more of these super-powered soldiers here. If somehow we took any real damage, these guys are here to give us some health back. Here's our first map station. I'd say all in all, Retro did a pretty good job with these motion controls, considering they were definitely forced to do them by a Nintendo. Because I'll bet you Retro didn't want to do this. The whole motion control thing. I'll bet you Retro probably wanted to stick to the GameCube controller, which the Wii is compatible with. But Nintendo's like, no, you have to use our new motion controls. You have to shoehorn these in. It's very important. But Retro did a good job. Oh no. They did a good job of trying to salvage this experience as much as possible. With Nintendo's weird and wacky demands that everything has to use their new motion controls or else. Whoa! I didn't know I could actually run into that. Like, I actually heard myself getting hit there. But anyway.
This one has finished bothering us. Go on ahead. I will stay here and protect the area.
I got out of my suit just so I could get back in it.
Proceed quickly to generator C. And reactivate the defense system before we're all vaporized. Go on. Get out of here.
Okay. I'm sure there must be a character.
Our scans of the meteor have detected massive quantities of phazon. It could be some sort of bomb.
I'm sure there must be a video game character like Gore over there that I'm just not thinking of at this time. Why did they die? A little pipe slipped, I think? Huh.
The generator is at the end of this section. Hurry, Samus. There isn't much time before that meteor hit.
We can't get through this door right now, which is kind of unfortunate, because I'm pretty sure that's a save station. some awkward side paths here. There's nothing in them. Huh. Okay. I don't remember those. I feel like the GF trooper suits kind of look a little bit like the... Oh, here we go. That's what's up. Kind of look a little bit like the Halo Spartan armor. Just a little bit. Oh, am I not supposed to break this? I'm not supposed to break that. How unusual.
The meteor will enter the planet's atmosphere soon. There is no time to lose, Samus.
There we go. But anyway, here's one part of Metroid that's very different from anything you'll see in, in Halo. Fighting a space dragon. Master Chief doesn't fight a space dragon. I mean, he fights bigger stuff, but it's not always about size. Samus fights some big things too.
Samus, I was able to get Generator B back online. If you need any help. Ah, here they go again.
And save station. For anybody who understands video game logic in the slightest, you all should know this is a bad sign. If the game is letting us save, that must mean there's a reason why they're letting us save. Oh, this again. Only it's worse this time. There we go. Just spam at it and it'll go away. It's Kerrigan again.
Space Pirate Grey is definitely not my style. The machines aren't my thing either, so I'll let you get this generator back online. Thanks, Sammy.
Honestly, I'm not so sure I like shape-shifting Kerrigan there. She's playing the good guy right now, but there's something fishy about her. That doesn't seem to be her style. She seems too mischievous. All right.
Samus, our efforts to slow the meteor have failed. You must hurry.
More enemies attacking us while we're in morph ball mode here. I was actually kind of lucky those jets lined up perfectly. Also those as well. I mean, I knew they were forgiving, but man, that was way more forgiving than I expected. And did I miss one? What? Huh? Why is the middle path not there? That's not right. What'd I miss? Yeah, where's the... Am I nuts? What'd I miss? Oh. I see. I thought that was a dead end. My bad. Here we go. So this puzzle's a little ho-hum. Kind of a slow... Kind of a slow section after the rush of combat that we had earlier. And fighting Ridley on the way in. Well, fighting Ridley. But now... it's time for the gameplay to pick up again. Because what Star Wars movie is complete without a villain falling down a pit? But Samus will do you one better. Here's a villain and a heroine falling down a pit together and fighting on the way down. Okay. This is honestly, in my opinion, one of the coolest fights in the Metroid Prime series. We are fighting Ridley while falling down this shaft that exists for basically the same reason all those shafts exist in Star Wars. Trying to backhand us there. And those meters right there that we're losing, if they hit 0, we do die. Thankfully, this fight isn't nearly that long. You can let go of us anytime now. Oh, now we're on the bottom. Ridley wanted to be on top. Ow. Stop it. Lasers hurt. As per usual, Darth Ridley's music is quite awesome. This is, in fact, reused from Prime 1, I believe. motion controls. There we go. There we go, sort of. Calm down, Ridley. Well, I mean, it's hard to be calm in a situation like this, I'm sure. So now we're back on top here. Obviously, because Ridley is the first real boss here, he's not going to be nearly as tough as he was in Prime 1. Ow. Ow, come on. Honestly, more concerned about just dealing damage to him. As you can see, the timer, the artificial timer there of the meters we've fallen, is pretty generous overall. Because I have not executed this boss fight perfectly in the slightest, but Ridley's almost gone. Another shot or two ought to do it. Yeah, there we go. That's when Samus goes for the epic finish, pumping some shots into him. And we get saved by Frozone.
That was a little too hot for my liking. Well done, Samus. But now you owe me one. I already took care of Generator B, so I'll leave it to you to get this final generator back online. With that, we can activate the cannon. When you're done, head to the control room. I'll meet you there.
Somehow the generator is just fine, despite the fact that Ridley smashed, you know, that platform out. And, you know, like, we fell down. Like, what was it? I think the starting counter was something like 13,000 meters or something. Must be a geothermal plant, I guess, but that's kind of weird that we're falling that far. Like, holy cow. That's a long way down. But yeah, generator works just fine, despite the fact that Ridley was in here and totally could have, like, done serious damage to it. Okay. So now there's a timer. I could have pressed 1 to continue the dialogue there, but I'm pretty sure that would have started the timer.
Samus, all efforts to stop the meteor.
Samus, all efforts to stop the meteor have failed. I really want you to respond to this dialogue.
Now that the defense system is back online, it remains our last chance to stop the meteor.
Oh.
We must get to the control tower and fire the
Maybe the timer's running regardless.
We are uploading the location of the control tower to you now.
So here's another awkward little thing. Pressing 1 is like way, way down on the Wiimote to, you know, far away from where the A button is to fire. So that's kind of weird. Oops, this is the wrong way, isn't it? Yes, it is. There's those Halo achievements coming in again. Wait. I did not seriously just go backwards, did I? Oh my gosh, did I get turned around? I think I got turned around. Oh my gosh, if I time out somehow. Oh, here we go. That's what I got mixed up. Okay. We're fine now. Pay no attention to the computer that says we only have 2 minutes. We're actually fine, I'm sure. We're just gonna walk right past those guys. Hold up, just to be sure that I'm going the right way. Yeah, okay, it's on the other side there. Naturally, everyone else is already waiting for us.
You're late. We were about to leave you behind.
The meteor is approaching faster than you think.
If we don't make it to the top in time, we can kiss this planet goodbye.
Hey, relax. We're the good guys. Justice will prevail and all that stuff. Right, Samus?
They're here. Let's do this.
We defeated our rival, Darth Ridley. But the evil Emperor, Darth Samus, is here. Samus is the only one who manages to dodge a shot. But then Dark Samus uses Force Lightning and hits everybody. And that's that. Looks like she's been doing some serious powering up since Prime 2. Oh, yeah. Really serious. She just like Superman flies away there. But our intrepid hero, Samus Solo, is not down yet. We managed to fire, I swear, I mean, did I not tell you it was the Hammer of Dawn? It pretty much is. It's just a land-based version of it. Although you can hardly see that laser. I think now you see it. Yeah, there we go. Goes to a satellite. And satellite cuts across the planet and then swipes the asteroid. Always found that a little weird. It's like, pardon me while I, like, in order to destroy this meteor, we have to re-aim the beam and cut across the entire planet while we're doing it.
She's coming too. Can you hear me, Samus?
Apparently the Galactic Federation is not concerned about environmental damage.
Vital signs are stable.
Whoa, hi there.
Welcome back, Samus. You've been asleep for quite some time. A month, to be exact. We feared we'd lost you. Thanks to your great work, Norion is now safe. At the end of the battle, we found you and the other hunters all unconscious. Our medical examinations then yielded surprising results. Your bodies are now, somehow, self-generating phazon. What's even stranger is that there are no negative effects to your health. This led us to investigate if we can make effective use of this phazon. During the invasion on Norion, you must have noticed some powerful troopers in new suits. They were wearing what we call phazon enhancement devices, or PEDs. We integrated this same phazon enhancement device into your armor while repairing your damaged bodysuit.
Cool, so now we're Tony Stark.
Troopers wearing this device have phazon pumped to their weapons from an external backpack. This gives them an extra boost in firepower. But in your case, think about it. With this phazon coursing through your body, you can fuel the PED using your own internal energy. Pretty effective, don't you think? Why don't you try the PED now?
Yeah, pretty effective for a, you know, mad scientist to use someone who's definitely sick as a test subject for her.
Initiate PED program.
For her new PED suit.
Recharging energy reserves.
You're now corrupted by phazon, but there are no negative effects to your health. We're corrupted with phazon? That's not a negative effect to our health? What? Okay, so now the game introduces its signature mechanic, hyper mode. So now we can go crazy. With the we can go crazy with the phazon beam. She has a force field.
Training complete.
And basically,
Noticed during this test that hyper mode possesses devastating power. Over the past month, we've learned the hard way just how powerful our enemies are. To deal with them, you'll need the firepower of the PED suit. Make good use of it.
So if you remember the end of Prime 1 and Prime 2, where you like pump phazon into your weapon to use the phazon beam, well, now we can do that at will by sacrificing an E-tank.
Now that you are familiar with the workings of the PED device, the Aurora Unit 242 would like to meet with you. There are many pressing matters to discuss. The AU chamber is located just off the command bridge. You'd better get going. Good luck. Oh, and one more thing. After 25 seconds, the safety feature automatically ends hyper mode. You'll have to keep paying attention.
Now, we are Samus Solo Stark. And I really mean that. Like, we even have a chest laser and everything, as you'll come to see later. These targets here will yield energy. Here, let's just go ahead and blast them. Yeah, see, we get energy for them. Let's open this door like a boss with the phazon beam. Unfortunately, we actually can't interact with things while we're doing that. Let's pull in the health. So using phazon like that does actually drain our health. So we sacrifice health for temporary invincibility and a really, really powerful gun. It's nice. And it's also very abusable. If a little risky in places. Slightly risky, but very abusable, as you will come to see later. Hey, look, it's that ship that got destroyed earlier. They fixed it. I mean, I'm sure it's probably a different ship, but, you know.
Can I help you? I'm sorry, but this requires my full attention.
I mean, this is truthfully just, like, a reloaded... Like, this is just the first set of scenery reloaded, I'm sure. But...
Samus, you made it. Glad to hear you're feeling better. You've been cleared to enter the AU chamber. Please proceed through these doors and up the lift. The Aurora unit is expecting you.
Now we can go through these doors that we couldn't go through before.
Clearance confirmed, G5. Opening chamber vault.
So again, they put a lot of production value into the beginning of this game. It's kind of nice in a way. Like, you know, like there's so many voice clips and everything, but whether or not that's for better or for worse, well, kind of varies from time to time. Triumphant music. It's a brain in a jar.
Let us begin. Time is most critical.
Which, if you know anything about Metroid, is usually a bad thing. Mother Brain was also a giant brain in a jar.
During the attempted pirate invasion of Norian, it was confirmed that 2 nearby planets were similarly attacked. These planets were named Rio and Elysia. These leviathans have impacted and embedded themselves deep into each planet, spreading a virulent phazon carried inside their bodies.
Yep, so if you've been paying attention to the story of Prime 1 and 2, this is what happened to Talon 4 and Aether. I mean, if you remember Talon 4 with the impact crater, that's where the Phazon came from and killed the Chozo. And with Aether, or like, yeah, with Talon 4, that's, you know, there was the impact crater, and now then with Aether, a large celestial object slammed into the planet and caused the weird dark and light split, as well as Phazon. And so now here we are, and this is happening again.
Gore to Elysia, while Andreda was sent to locate the space pirate stronghold. Like you, they were outfitted with PED devices in order to confront this new threat. We lost contact with all of them 7 days ago, and fear the worst. In their absence,
It's because they're not me.
and finish their missions. The closest planet is Rio. This will be your first objective.
Like, those guys are cool, but they're not as cool as Samus.
Please be on the lookout for any clues that might help us understand what happened to Runtus and the other hunters. Good luck.
Okay. So this game does kind of do something new-ish. Instead of different areas, like in the other games where you'd like take an elevator and go to a different area, this game actually doesn't do that very much. Instead, it has us going to different planets altogether. Yeah, and this is also where the infamous loading times come in. So, Prime 3 does try to outdo its predecessors.
Samus, the fleet is now moving to the rendezvous.
Oh my gosh, there's so much talking.
You will no longer be able to dock with us from this point forward.
Like, way more than I remember.
Rest assured, we will keep communication lines open and supply you with information when necessary. Good luck on Brio.
So, oh my gosh, now. Yeah, so we're traveling to different planets. There's a lot, like, this game does outdo its predecessors in terms of, like, how much stuff there is. Like, the graphical performance is a little higher, and there's a lot more large open areas. And that's really cool and all. Like, because the environments look fantastic, but the trade-off, I mean, for Wii era, they look fantastic. The trade-off, however, is loading times. Like, between doors, between planets. Like, they're so long that even the, that basically all of the classic efforts that Prime 1 and 2 used to try and hide the loading times don't really work as well. Because they're just so long you notice them anyway. So here we are on Brio. And the drag begins. Sadly, I'm not joking.
Samus, the Leviathan seed is protected by an energy shield. You will not be able to reach it with that barrier active. We need more data to determine if the shield can be disabled.
Somebody's been here already.
You are near the wreckage of a downed Federation vessel. If you can use the satellite uplink on the ship, you may be able to access information concerning the sea. Prepare to receive the ship's coordinates now.
So, every Metroid game has a slow point. For Prime 1, it's basically right after the beginning of the game. Like once you get past the pirate ship, the derelict pirate ship, the game slows down significantly, like to a crawl, if you'll remember. Because you have to get all your power-ups back. Now, in this game, thankfully, your power-ups are never taken away. So you don't really lose your double jump and, you know, your charge beam, and we already have missiles. So, like, the game is better in that way, but it still manages to have a slow point here at the beginning. Like, Prime 2, the quote-unquote slow point was sadly Torvos for a good bit, like the middle section of the game. And in this game, it's very much the beginning, and I guess I would divide this game into 5 pieces rather than the traditional 3 or 4. Like, this game's kind of divided into 5 parts, and it's sort of slow at the beginning and slow in the middle as well. But towards the latter part of the middle, like the actual middle is fast, it's weird. Okay, I'm trying to remember which way to go. So, you can kind of sort of tell, because they never took away our power-ups, they sort of expect you to know what you're doing. Like with double jump and stuff like that, they expect you to know. Which is weird because they tutorialize you to death. You know, earlier they were like really tutorializing us like crazy. And now, oddly enough, they are not. I'm trying to remember. Is this the right way? Yeah, this is not the right way. Ever feel like you're really hungry and your chest starts to hurt for some reason? Well, if it's your stomach, then that's just being hungry. But if it's your chest, like, it's not like your heart or something, is it? Like, you're not suffering a stroke while you're watching this, right? Skew. Okay, good. Just making sure. Miguel Lan LO1? Hi there. Miguelan? Am I saying that correctly? Miguel? Nice. How's it going, Miguel? Nice to meet you. Sorry, I had to sort of lean in because, like, in order to play this, I have to sort of lean back a bit. So I have to lean in order to really read your name because it's, like, in red against a black background, so it's... Whoa. Oh, there we go. I was like, what do I do next? Oh, there it is. Okay. Here we go. How's it going? You having a good day? And as for hunger that spreads to the rest of your body, Avalon, I completely understand what you're saying. Because I feel like that pretty much every time I go to work. Oh, I'm sorry to hear you're not having a good day. Oh, whoa. This is not my first time. I played this, like, I want to say... almost 10 years ago. Like, this came out in 2007, and I'm pretty sure I played it in 2007 to like 2008, something like that. So this isn't my first time. I have 100%ed this game on Veteran, so I have maxed this game out. I used to be really good at this game. But, well, it's been a while. Wait a minute, that's not right. I must have missed something. Oh, also these guys come back. So those guys just respawn, huh? How do I get... Oh. Duh. Okay. Oh, no, maybe not duh. How do I get up there? Okay, there must be another platform or something that I can get onto somehow to get up there. What am I doing wrong here? These guys respawning is not helpful. Okay, I am definitely... Like, those platforms came down. Can I get... Oh, yeah, okay. I'm blind, that's all. That's all. Here we go, here we go. You can feel free to backseat if you want. I have no problems with it whatsoever. I've already played this game and maxed it out, like I said. So if I'm just being blind and not remembering, you can let me know. I certainly won't mind. You miss your opportunity if you tell me? What opportunity do you miss? Okay. Oh, that's right. This thing. Do we want to go that way or that way? Eh. Let's try going the way that's not blocked. Sing? I'm not sure if you want to hear me sing. But just for you. Oh. I'll sing what these guys are singing, whatever it is. Let's see. I can't really think of anything to sing straight up. So here's our first required use of hyper mode. I mean, besides the stuff they showed us on the ship. If you guys want me to sing more, I'll definitely have something. I'll have something more appropriately dumb ready for next stream. Oh, this room. So, these may look like primitive lizard people, but they have weird energy boomerangs and energy whips, so maybe not so much. They're semi-tough, but not. Sing Pump Up Kicks. I don't know that song. Whoops. Wrong order. Unfortunately, I have to know a song in order to sing it. Like I said, I'll have something better prepared for, I'll have something better prepared, if that's what you want to hear. I'll have something better prepared for next stream. I'm sure I can think of something. Yeah, I'm serious. If you want me to sing something, I will think of something stupid to sing next time. You come to my next stream, I'll do it. If you really want to hear me sing that badly. But it's a thing, but I don't like listen to a ton of songs or music. So like, I can't just do it on the fly, unfortunately. That's just not my thing. Oh, no, I'm not a terrible singer. I just don't know any songs. Like, it's hard for me to just think of some lyrics on the spot. Like, my brain, when you said that, my brain just froze. I was like, sing? What? Sing what? I don't know what to sing. So we get the grapple beam incredibly early on in this game. Like, whereas it's usually been a late game power-up, we're getting it already. Which is kind of crazy, but it does sort of make sense with the new grapple lasso that they've given us already. And I'm sure they undoubtedly did this because Nintendo said, motion controls! And so Retro was forced to comply. Why do I feel like I'm missing the way up here? There is a way up. I know it. Oh yeah, definitely. Avalon actually mentioned that earlier, Miguel. Is Miguel? Is that the right pronunciation? I hope it is. Yeah, I think Miguel sounds about right. So, like, Avalon already mentioned this. Other M's controls were not great. And, I haven't played Other M, but I've seen it played, and I have a friend who's played it. So, I think it's safe to say the same thing I said before. The only thing that Other M did correctly is the whole grappling thing was really, like, a cool idea. They didn't really execute it all that well, but it was still a cool idea, and that's literally the only positive contribution that Other M ever made to the Metroid series. Yeah, well, okay. Upgrade Samus's model. Yeah, alright. Well. Visual upgrades are expected, though. That's just a matter of, that's a matter of course. I mean, like, brand new ideas. And, like, mechanics and stuff. Alright, so we've gone that way, we've gotten the grapple beam. Then there's this thing. Do I pull it up? I think, aha, here we go. I pull it out of here. There we go. Let's get this out of here. All right. Yeah. I was about to say cinematics. Oh wait, Team Ninja didn't do the. Are you saying that Team Ninja did not do the cinematics for Other M? Was that another company that did those? And because they did them. I mean, I could believe it. I could believe it. It would not surprise me if that were the case. Alright, so we have yet another E-Tank that they're giving us here. Oh, yeah, I can make this. It's just a little weird because, say, I can't quite, like, my computer is actually blocking a tiny sliver of the bottom of my monitor. So I can't quite perfectly see the ground towards the very, very bottom edge. Huh. That sounds weird that Nintendo would give it to Team Ninja, but then Team Ninja would have someone else do the cutscenes. That sounds very strange. But again, I'd believe it. Oh. Remember these guys? From every other one? Every other Metroid game? Or Metroid Prime game, I should say. Ah, here we go. Team Ninja and Nintendo make a mini new team for Other M? Oh. Okay. Except for the cinematics. That is a very strange way to go about game development. Hey, no problem, Avalon. I hope you feel better. Like, maybe consider a small snack or something? I'm not sure what to tell you, man. Like, or maybe some Tums or something? Like, I just hope you feel better. Thank you for coming. I'll be ending in like 20-some minutes anyway, so. Because unfortunately I have to go to work tonight. See you later, man. Thanks for coming. You have a good night. Alright. So now we've got 2 more landing areas open to us on Brio. There are that many places on Brio to go. But we've almost completely explored the first area, so This game's divided into a bunch of tiny little sections like that. And I honestly forget exactly which way is the right way to go after this. Oh.
The satellite data has revealed 2 distinct energy signatures.
By all means, ask your question, Miguel.
They must be supplying power to the city shield.
We can't get through here yet.
If these targets are eliminated, the shield will be removed.
Yep, we're headed back.
We are uploading the location of each energy signature and nearby landing sites.
Honestly, because Prime 1 and Prime 2 were really incredible games, so they sort of set the bar really high, and then when Prime 3 came along, like, Nintendo basically told Retro, you must use the new motion controls of the Wii. Well, you know, all things considered, I think they did a pretty good job, but the truth is, being forced to use the Wiimote means that they were limited on the number of buttons. That's the real problem here. Like, it isn't a problem right now, but later on, like, you'll see stuff that just isn't right. Like, Prime 1 and 2 had, like, you know, they had, like, 4 different beams, but this game has only one at a time. Like, you get beam upgrades, but you can't switch between beams. Like, there's a lot of options that are limited and taken away from the previous games because of the motion controls. And because the Wiimote simply has less buttons. Hold on a second. What? Okay. That was weird. Like, the auto mod blocked your misspelling of a word. I assume you mean frequently. Yeah, the motion controls are like... they're not horrible, but they're not great either, and they're all over the place. It doesn't feel as smooth as Prime 1 or 2. I figured it wasn't. It's okay, man. They really want you to use hyper mode here. What is your first language? I mean, I'm always happy to help out if you need any assistance. Let's see, save and enter ship, because we have to fly off to somewhere else. So let's see, what's next? I think we go here next. I want to say that's right. Pretty sure it's Brio Fire. So that's honestly, that's something new right there that this game kind of introduced. Like, it's not quite as linear as the previous two games, but it's still sort of linear. Yeah, like, you know what else? I think I said it earlier too. This game is a lot heavier on the story than Prime 1 and 2. Like, Prime 1 and 2, the story was there, but it was almost entirely optional. With 3, it is forced upon you. Like, you do not have a choice. The story is forced upon you, and that's, you know, that's... depending on your style or your preferences, that, you know, your video game preferences, that may or may not be a good thing. It's kind of 50-50 on that. So this game's just very different from its predecessors. Limited controls kind of limit the amount of variability compared to the previous games. Story is much more forced upon the player. There's lots of little factors as to why this is not quite as good as as the previous two games. It's not a bad game. Like, don't misunderstand me for saying Prime 3 is a bad game. It is not a bad game. Like I said, I 100%ed this thing on Veteran. In some ways, Prime 2 was a copy-paste, but let me put it like this. Whether or not you think that's a good or a bad thing depends on whether or not you think Prime 1 was good. Because, see, here's the thing. If you really like Prime 1, why would them copy and pasting a lot of stuff into Prime 2, why would that be a bad thing? Because why fix what isn't broke? Innovation for the sake of innovation isn't always good. Take the motion controls in the Wiimote, for example. Nobody asked for that. And the fact that they needed a Wii Motion Plus later kind of says a lot about how it was received and how good the controls actually were. So, like, I like Prime 2. I think it's, honestly, I like it more than Prime 1. Are there elements of copy and paste? Of course there are, but I think it's good that they didn't mess with a formula that worked just fine. They didn't mess with something that was, you know, that was already good. They just kept it the way it was and did more stuff with it, which is exactly the way it should go. The different zones in Prime 2? Yeah. The different areas in Prime 2 are really nice. rock zone with water? Not sure if you're talking about Aegon or Torvos, but I mean, it has, you said with water, so I'm assuming it's... They had dark versions, yeah. The dark world versions of all the different areas were well done. Like, Prime 2 was honestly, it was a masterpiece in my opinion. I think it was better than Prime 1, but the opinion on which, you know, is Prime 1 or Prime 2 the better game, that's very much an opinion. Because there's lots of people that go either way on that. Speaking of Prime 1, here's some reused music. Sanctuary Fortress? Whoa. Overloading. Gotta get rid of all that Phazon, but...
Samus, we just received very abnormal readings from your life support systems.
Now...
Okay.
Now we get the unintentional upgrade in this game.
As a precaution, we are downloading the diagnostic data from your suit.
Infinite Phazon.
Situation. We will contact you again if we have any more information.
The only bad part about Sanctuary Fortress in Prime 2 was just the Spider Ball Guardian. The Spider Ball Guardian was very mean, but past that, everything in Sanctuary was great. I loved Sanctuary Fortress. Quadraxis remains probably one of my favorite bosses that isn't Dark Samus to this day. Like, Quadraxis and Dark Samus, they're like just the coolest bosses. I love all the Dark Samus fights, but if I had to pick something that wasn't Dark Samus, Quadraxis would be, in my opinion, the coolest fight in that game. And that's saying something because there are a lot of cool fights in that game. Prime 2 had lots of really, really good boss fights. Like, honestly, the Darklings were the ones that kind of sucked. Like, Jump Guardian, Boost Ball Guardian, like, those were the fights that I remember not liking. So, this is another thing about Prime 3. Hyper mode abuse. I'm going to deliberately sit here and wait for my Phazon to recharge a bit, firing as needed to keep my levels wherever I want, so that I can abuse hyper mode for the full 25 seconds that they allow me to stay in it. The auto vent is there to prevent me from abusing it too much, but 25 seconds of invincibility and super firepower is quite a lot. The Saw X fight? Sorry? Saw X? Oh, Fusion. I'll be honest with you, I hate Fusion. I've never played it, but I've seen it. I've watched it. I don't like it. And not because the gameplay is bad, but because I hate the story. I hate Fusion's story. I hate it so bad I won't play it. I do not like the Fusion timeline at all. Like the opening scenario where like Samus, like her ship, like, you know, Samus like has a, you know, is infected by the weird parasite, you know. Oh, that's right. Gotta pump this thing, if I can. Hello? Hello? Controls? Like the weird thing where Samus is infected by the weird parasite, the X-parasite or whatever. By the way, X-parasite. And then, like, she doesn't think anything's wrong. Nobody thinks to check on her for a long time. And then, like, she has this weird heart attack because of the parasite. And then her ship autopilots into an asteroid. She lives. And then they inject her with Metroid DNA, and it somehow kills, like, just the DNA of the Metroid kills the X-parasite off so that she can live. Like, there's so many holes in that story. It's crazy. I just can't accept that story. It's just so unbelievable. I cannot. And here's a great example of motion controls not working. I swear, my Wiimote is going in and out, and I don't know how else to do this. It looks like the sad truth is, you know, like I'm having to almost collide with my mic here in order to make this work. Oh my gosh, finally. Like, see, was this really necessary to complete the experience? Nintendo would have us believe that it was. I'm pretty sure Retro didn't think that, but whatever. Oh yeah, no, I hate Other M too. I have not played Other M, again, because I refuse to purchase it because it's just so bad. I watched it. Okay, I watched Fusion all the way through, or sorry, Other M all the way through. Hated it. It was so atrocious. Like they turned Samus into this angsty child. It's just, I just can't take it. I just can't take it. Okay. Let's get rid of these guys. Oh, there's another one behind me. Yeah, I am aware that the Metroids were created by the Chozo for the sole purpose of getting rid of the X-parasite. But that's even, like, that on its own is fine. The problem is really just the whole situation with Samus. Like I said, with, like, her ship that, you know, when she's in trouble, the autopilot doesn't take over, or when it does, it crashes into an asteroid. Samus somehow lives through that crash, which, like, she shouldn't have. And then, on top of that, like, she's, like, horribly mutilated by getting fused to her suit, which is just like, you know, what a way to treat a hero. And then on top of that, and then they just inject the DNA. Okay, they didn't even put full Metroid cells in her body. Just the DNA alone was enough to somehow kill the X parasite, which is not how DNA works. If you have even the smallest understanding of medicine, you know that's magic, not medicine. And then it's just, there's so many things. Like, I could suspend my disbelief for a little bit, but like, there's a certain level of suspension of disbelief that I just can't do. Much like this little jet here. Hold on. Concentration. Okay. And it just got worse from there. And then the whole, like, Adam in the computer thing. Where, like, Adam was, like, still semi-alive because his brain waves were downloaded into the computer. And it's just like, here, let's bring Samus's love interest back, sort of. It was so weird. And then by the end, Samus is basically a criminal. Because she, you know, basically knows too much about what the GF has been doing. It's just like, ugh. No, Other M and Fusion are both bad for their own reasons. Other M didn't ruin Fusion for me. Fusion ruined Fusion for me. And Other M ruined itself. I can suspend my disbelief to a certain point, but like, Other M just asked way too much of me. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Well, I guess this is how we're getting across. I thought there was a ledge there. I was mistaken. There was no ledge. Ah, a save room. Perfect. There we go. Okay. So we've been on Brio for a bit. I've honestly had a fun time talking about this game and venting about Other M and Fusion to you, Miguel. This has been fun, but I think it's time to go. I unfortunately have to work in a bit. I work overnights. So I have to go for now. I will be streaming again around 6-ish tomorrow. I usually start sometime between like 6 and 6:15, but of course that's my time. I'm Mountain Time. I don't know where you're at. Basically, I would start about 3 hours ago, normally. So hopefully I'll see you then, Miguel. If you really want me to sing that badly, I'll try to have something to sing by next time. But anyway, thank you for coming. I had fun talking with you. You have a good night. Hey guys, thanks for watching. This is where most people tell you to like, comment, and subscribe. And while I would appreciate you doing all that, if you enjoyed my content, come check me out on Twitch at twitch.tv/TrinfiniteX so you can watch and chat with me while I make these. I'm a family-friendly streamer, so everybody's welcome. Throw me a follow on Twitch and Twitter so you can get notifications when I go live. Links will be down in the description. Have a wonderful day, and I look forward to meeting you.